Huh? Huh? Oh, come on! You gotta admit this is cool!
What's good with y'all, Jets, man? It's your boy Whitefang, and I'm in a building, man. I'm in a booth. Back with another video, man. And today, man, I know y'all probably been seeing it everywhere, but we got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, man. We got a nice little discussion, my biggest takeaways from it. But before I go ahead and get into the video, as always, I just want to recommend to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Also, leave a comment. What are your thoughts on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, the new trailer? What are your expectations moving forward now that you've seen gameplay, now that you've seen a lot of the things that it has to offer? I just want to know down below so I can, debate with y'all, or just let me know your thoughts and opinions on my opinions about what I'm about to say in this video. But without further ado, hey man, let's get into it. Now, I've been seeing a lot of discourse regarding Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. I'm gonna block all that and tune it all out, all the positivity, the negativity. I'm gonna just give you my raw opinion. The game looks great. I love the art style direction that they went with for this game. I love that it's not glossy. I love that it's not too much like Shintani or too much and going towards one direction. It looks like with this art style, every character for the most part will look great. I do love the massive size of the stage that we've seen as far as the gameplay, because I'm going to be talking about the gameplay that we've seen. I may put it up on the screen, but I don't know who that gameplay belongs to, so I don't want to get copyrighted. But I may put either screenshots or clips on the screen depending on, what's the deal with that. I don't want to get clipped. But as far as the trailer, we also saw in the trailer there was plenty of stuff that we saw. The massive city that this new hub world is. It looks beautiful. It looks breathtaking. I can't wait to explore it. I hope it gets updated just like Content City did, so that way it doesn't stay stale. But as massive as it is, I don't think that will happen. I think that it will be so much for you to do. I like that you get your own room. That seemed pretty cool. Like you having your own, I'm pretty sure when you start up or boot up the game and you click on your CAC, just like Xenoverse 2, when the game loads up, you'll be inside your room, which you can customize. I've heard different, content creators that, went to the event for Xenoverse 3. They were able to confirm that you can customize the little room, which I'll put on the screen as well, of where your CAC will be. So I think that's fire. There's different mechanics that they introduced to Xenoverse 3 that I like, and then there's also things that I don't like. Now, before I go ahead and get into the things that I don't like, I'm going to talk about the things that I like. Again, like I said, I like the art direction. I like the graphics. I like for the most part, I like the movement. It seems a lot more impactful and a lot more snappy in a sense. I'm going to get into that in a second. It seems a lot more like they're focusing on the actual multiplayer aspect of this. A lot of it feels, I've seen other people say that it feels like Battle of Z, and I can see why with the camera angle and kind of like the HUD, which I'll get into later as well. So I like that aspect of it. I've always been a fan of Battle of Z. I think Battle of Z, had it been done correctly, it may have, if we wanted Battle of Z done right, it may have looked something like this. So I think that is a great direction to go in. I do like a lot of how the supers look as well, because the supers for Xenoverse were always in game, but it looks like for this game they're going to keep it that way. But as the camera angle in which is being shown, like the perspective when the super is happening, it seems a lot closer to like a cutscene. Even though it's not a cutscene, it seems a lot closer to the cutscene, which I think is cool. I think the outfits and the cosmetics that we've seen so far are pretty cool. We've already got confirmation that there will be the returning races from Xenoverse 2, which was Saiyans, Earthlings, Namekians, and Majins. So that's already confirmed. So hopefully we get more in the future in regards to different races that may be playable. They also confirmed, this was from an interview, that there will be crossplay, which is great. I'm excited for crossplay. These are all great things that I want for the game. I also love how when you go Super Saiyan, your hair will spike up, which I think is pretty cool. And it's also been confirmed by a content creator, YouTuber Endakuba, that you can go up to Super Saiyan 3 with your create a character, and the hair will be spiking up, and there will be like a sequence of a transformation. I'll put his tweet up on the screen where he confirmed that information. So I think that's pretty cool. All of these things are cool. I like the art style for the original cast characters as well. They look great. Like, I just love the art direction for this game. It looks great. Like, I'm not saying it's the best best looking Dragon Ball game that we gotten, but it definitely looks great, man. And hopefully we see more of the original cast. That's kind of what I want to see. I know it's like, oh, why do you care about the original cast? It's a character creation game. I think the character creation in this game is going to be great. I don't know where the story is going just yet, as far as like the Age 1000 and what will be, you know, the overall story of, you know, our created character and what journey we're going to go on. So I look forward to seeing more of that as well. I'm also hoping that our character actually has dialogue. From what I've seen in the trailer, our created character still doesn't have dialogue. That was something that Ultimate Tenkaichi did, where your character, you know, obviously with the optional voice that you pick, they had dialogue within the game and throughout their story. So I hope that's something that they brought to Xenoverse 3. I know it's different races and, you know, different, you know, voice lines for each race, you know, female and stuff like that. So it may be a little bit harder and more, you know, a lot more effort to put in to do something like that, as to where Ultimate Tenkaichi, you know, it was just a sand race and that's all you got. So hopefully that's something that they can do. If not, I kind of get it. I mean, it's not a make or break thing to me. I really don't care for story mode in Dragon Ball games. However, I did enjoy Xenoverse 1 story mode. I did thoroughly enjoy that story mode. I like the Migra as a villain. Hopefully we get to see other like past villains return from Xenoverse 1 and Xenoverse 2 return in this game, or Xenoverse 3. So I'm looking forward to that as well. The boss fights, as far as like what looks like a parallel quest and what they've shown and the gameplay, it looks great. So if you haven't noticed already, I'm jumping between like what was shown in the trailer and then what was shown in the gameplay footage. So all of it looked great. There's a lot of stuff that I like. I like how the key blast looked. I like how, you know, I like the way that certain camera angles worked when you did certain attacks. I thought that was pretty cool. It looks like they're trying to make the camera angle a lot more dynamic, in a sense of focusing more on the overall aspect of what you're seeing. So it's not like they're zooming out completely. It's like they got a lot closer to your character, or to the player's perspective, and it's a lot more zoomed in, it feels like, and I actually like that. Now, all the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 like glazers that feel like this game could do no wrong, I'm speaking to y'all because I've seen y'all in comments, I've seen y'all on Twitter, I've seen y'all say different things, and y'all feel like y'all favorite game could do no wrong. My response to that, before I get into the things that I don't like or things that I may be scared for the game, y'all have to understand, at the end of the day, this is a product from Bandai Namco. Like that's what y'all have to understand. Point blank period. It's an anime game product from Bandai Namco. As great as Xenoverse 2 was, you have to also remember that a lot of the stuff that Xenoverse 2 have at this time came over the course of like the span of 10 years. So you guys have to chill. When people are giving criticism, it's because they want the game to do good. So I'm going to critique what may worry me or what I didn't like in the trailer. I said a lot of great things so far about it. So please do not attack me if you feel like, oh, you're just shitting on the game, you're just hating. Like, bro, listen, bro. I want Xenoverse 3 to be great. Bro, just to give you a little history. For Xenoverse 1, I was in middle school when that game came out. And in order to buy Xenoverse 1, because my parents didn't want to get it for me for whatever reason. They don't want to waste their money on video games. I get it, you know, parent things. So I went in ahead and I sold candy all the way up till I got enough money to buy Xenoverse 1. I swear to God. Like, I sold candy. I sold like little nerd packets just to get enough money to buy Xenoverse 1. I played the hell out of it. I love the story mode. And then for Xenoverse 2, my cousin bought it. I would go to his house every day just to play Xenoverse 2. I beat the story mode for him. He didn't even like Xenoverse 2, but I went over there damn near every day just to play the story mode and play the game for him, like, and beat it. And I loved it. And then I got my own console and I play Xenoverse 2 to this day. I mean, I have Xenoverse 2 gameplay on my channel. So I love Xenoverse, man, but you have to understand that at the end of the day, this is an anime game from Bandai Namco. With that being said, I'm going to get into the things that I did not like. I did not like the change of the HUD. I'm just being very real. I did not like the change of the HUD. It feels very arcade-ish, very MMO and RPG-ish. And to me, it kind of feels like they're stripping away some elements of PvP from the game, which kind of scares me. I think that there will be PvP in this game. I think that there will be, but I just don't like the overall look of it. It could change. The game is still in development. I get it. But if I'm being honest, this game will most likely come out around February 2027. You know, that's just the timeline. If you just look at Dragon Ball games, when they're announced and when they're released, they're usually released like a year after they're announced. They come out like several months, you know, so they're going to be marketing this game like crazy. But yeah, the HUD, as far as when you're fighting, I did not like it. I don't like how the key is next to your body. I don't like how there's no key bar. Key and stamina being the same, that's fine. I actually like that. That's fine. You know, I'm a J-Stars player, and essentially your stamina and your energy resource is the same in J-Stars. So you managing that and having to balance between that, I think that's great. I just don't like how they remove the actual health bar and then the key bar, because in Xenoverse 1 you had the health bar, the key bar, and then the green stamina bar. The Xenoverse 2, they kind of improved. They have the same thing, but they improved on how it looked. They made it look a lot more like Tenkaichi, if I'm being honest. And then Xenoverse 3 is like they script that all away, and it kind of feels like Battle of Z. Like if you've seen Battle of Z layout, or if you just played any MMO game or RPG game, a lot of the HUD is like, it's not your typical fighting, like it's not like how it is in PvP. So it feels like they stripped that away, which worries me for the PvP elements of the game. Another thing that worries me about the PvP elements of the game is how they change from you using you being able to use ki to use attacks. It's now attacks that are on cooldown. Now I get why that would be used to, you know, well, some people would like that and think that's a good thing. It can be a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing necessarily. I'm just saying it's something that I don't like. Is because, again, it takes away the aspect of Dragon Ball in a sense, you know what I mean? Because before, in Xenoverse 2, if I'm not mistaken, when you punch somebody, you know, you built ki. When you charge, you built ki. And as long as you got ki, you can use your resources, you can use your skills, which I think is cool. And this, what it looks like from the gameplay, is that that's not the case. Everything is on cooldown. So even if you're punching, yeah, it forces you to engage more, because if you use a super, okay, now you have to engage because you can't access this super again. Yes, that's the case, and I get and I understand that, but I just think it takes away that Dragon Ball effect. You know what I mean? Because it's not like Goku has no fucking cooldown on Kamehameha when he's fighting. You know what I mean? It just takes away a little bit, in my opinion, from the Dragon Ball immersiveness, especially if you're creating a character and you want your created character to feel like someone in the Dragon Ball cast, which, you know, most of the majority, I can't think of a Dragon Ball skill right now off the top of my head that will have a cooldown. So I just don't like that. I get it's used to prevent spamming and probably meant to have the player engage more. I just think they could have went about it in a better way. And what way would that be? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like what they should have done is do kind of what Storm does, which is not connections. We don't talk about connections, but do what Storm does, which it basically makes you, if you're going to use jutsu, you have to charge. And the same thing with Spark and Zero. I'm not trying to compare Xenoverse to Spark and Zero. I know they're two completely games. I've said that in my not my last video, but the video before that one, of how this shouldn't be compared. But in a sense of like, hey, if you're going to use resources, you have to charge. You know, you have to manage your ki. And in this game, I'm not saying key management is non-existent. It still looks like you have to manage your ki very well to use it for other resources, such as you know, going awakening, and you know, like you're shooting your little ki blasts and stuff like that. But that's just a change that I really don't know how I feel about yet. I don't like it so far. Maybe it'll change in the future. Maybe different supers have different cooldown times. Maybe you can equip the skill that the more you hit your enemy, the faster the cooldown, like the faster the cooldown time is. It feels a lot like Shinobi Strikers. You know what I mean? It feels a lot like Shinobi Strikers. I don't know what I just said. It feels a lot like Shinobi Strikers. If you ever play Shinobi Strikers, you'll know what I mean. It feels a lot like that, where you could have access to different jutsus when you create a character and the original cast, but it's on cooldown. And that's another thing too that I want to talk about, with how the HUD looks, and the speed of the game looks as well. It feels a lot like Shinobi Striker. Like Shinobi Striker is for the most part, it can be a fast-paced game, but it's more objective-based, right? It's not really meant for PvP. Like, you can do PvP. They have a game mode where it's like a free-for-all, and that's pretty cool. But Xenoverse 2 PvP elements were decent to good. You know what I mean? And it feels like with this, they kind of stripping those layers back and making it more so of a kind of like what Shinobi Strikers is, which is a created character, you know, objective based with, you know, team up objective based type of game. And I just get scared for that because yeah, that can be fun, but at the end of the day, if you played Xenoverse 1 and you played Xenoverse 2, you still was able to box against the homies. You know what I mean? So you're still able to box against the homies, box against the people, and it felt like you were engaging in a real Dragon Ball game. And why that scares me is because I actually like the impact on the hits of this game. Like, the hits seem a lot more impactful than how they did in Xenoverse 2, and I fuck with that. Like, it looks cool. It sounds great. Even the sound design in this game and the music is great. Like, there's a lot of great things that I saw. It's just some of the direction is scaring me. Now, again, I would have to see. I would have to see PvP. I want to see what PvP looks like. I actually need to play the game myself because there's the I don't know the official name for it, but in Xenoverse 2, when you teleport around very fast, you can spam it, right? You can just teleport around, chum 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 chum, shoot your ki blast. I probably have a clip of me doing it from my old gameplay footage. I'll probably try to put it up on the screen. But yeah, man, I seen that in the gameplay footage and also in the trailer. But what worries me is I haven't seen anyone do it back to back to back to back to back like you were able to do in Xenoverse 2. I've seen people cancel, like doing a dash and stuff like that, using that mechanic to cancel things, which is great. That creates a layer of depth, right? But I haven't, because we didn't have that in Xenoverse 2. You weren't able to cancel like your homing dash with just the little L2 X thing or whatever the input would be if it's on Xbox. You know what I mean? The little quick dash mechanic. That's what I'm gonna call it for now until I know the official name, the quick dash mechanic. But it looks like in this game you can actually cancel things out using that mechanic, which is great. It's cool, but it worries me in the sense of, okay, is it still as snappy as before? And if not, does that then slow down the gameplay as far as fighting? Now, I know a lot of people are saying on Twitter, well, hey, this game, they're trying to go in the direction of more of focusing on, you know, multiplayer online and being able to have fun teaming up with your friends and stuff like that. It's not about PvP. It looks like they're stepping away from that element, and some people are happy. I would be happy if we had both, because we have both in Xenoverse, right? In Xenoverse 2 and Xenoverse 1, we have the same thing. We have, well, the mechanics in Xenoverse 1 was trash, but they knew that, so they expounded upon it in Xenoverse 2. So I was expecting them to do the same thing here, like let's polish up some things, and you know. So I don't know. I'm kind of scared, but we'll just have to see. And the last thing I really want to touch on before I go ahead and close out the video is the whole soul changing thing. So with the whole soul changing thing, I'm kind of worried for two things. I'm kind of worried. I mean, I don't mind it, because if you put that on, all it would do is just take away your ability to use an awoken skill, so you don't have to use it, which I think is a great, you know, a great detail by the devs. Like, you know, a great way to implement that feature is not forcing players to use it, which I think is, you know, which I think is cool, because, you know, some people just not gonna want to turn into somebody else. They're using their creative character for a reason, right? So one thing that I am worried about is, if they're doing that, are they doing that because we won't have the original cast to play with outside of the CACs? Is that the reason that they're doing that? That would worry me, and it would be stupid. And I don't think that's the case, because it would just be stupid. It's like, are you gonna create move sets just for people to use for like 40 seconds? You're gonna create like a whole model and a whole move set just for people to use for 40 seconds? That would be stupid. So I don't think it's the case, but it does bring up a little bit of concern for me. I do hope the main cast is playable. I do hope that all of the characters that, or at least majority of the characters that was in Xenoverse 2, we see return here, because all of the DLC that was in Xenoverse 1 were base game in Xenoverse 2. So I hope they do something similar with this game. I know that's kind of unrealistic expectation maybe, but I hope that we see all of those characters return. But all in all, I will say that I am excited for this game. It's definitely looking great. I can't wait to explore in the different options and see what the actual story mode is. That's what is intriguing me so far. And also, how will this game play in terms of multiplayer, you know, in terms of PvP? Is that something that they're still, you know, trying to not necessarily focus on or improve, more so improve, just like they did from Xenoverse 1 to Xenoverse 2? Are they going to improve on the PvP elements throughout the development of this game? Are they going to see the feedback and maybe change some things? I'm not sure, but from what I see, the game looks a lot slower paced compared to Xenoverse 2. But it feels a lot more engaging. That's the best way that I can say it. It's like, okay, the mechanics that were implemented and things that were changed, some things were stripped away. It seems like with the, you know, the stamina bar system and things like that, it seems like it makes the game a bit slower paced. And like I said, I haven't seen anyone do the little quick vanish thing multiple times in a row, so I don't know if that's still a feature within the game, if you're still able to do that and like keep chaining it, which was created for movement and fluidity. So I'm scared for that aspect. But the game, as far as, you know, the hits feeling powerful, the blast feeling powerful, the dynamic camera angles of the super and the impact on the supers as well, seems a lot more engaging than what was in Xenoverse 2. So I don't know, we'll just have to see. I'm excited, I'm nervous for it at the same time, because I want this to succeed. I want it to do great. And I think it's going to succeed. It's going to sell great as Xenoverse 3. And I'm just looking forward to seeing more cool things. I will be covering more Xenoverse 3 on this channel, whatever it does get announced, and doing a breakdown of what we see and, you know, the updates. But yeah, man, that's going to be a video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. Also leave a comment as well of what your thoughts are. Did you share the same opinions as me? How do you feel about my opinions? Are you worried for Xenoverse 3? What are your expectations and things like that? And then also, man, you know, just subscribe to the channel if you do look forward to Xenoverse 3 being covered on here as well. And, you know, if you enjoy my takes. But that's going to be a video. Make sure you reach for the stars. White Fang out.